The longer one listened to him, the more obvious it became that his inability to speak was closely connected with an inability to think. Namely, to think from the standpoint of somebody else. Who is he and why should you care? He was a Nazi named Adolf Eichmann. He was on trial in Jerusalem in 1961, as being covered in the book Eichmann in Jerusalem by Hannah Arendt. Professionally, a philosopher, historian, political theorist, and author. Outside of her professional career, she was raised as a secular Jew in Nazi Germany, was arrested by the Nazis, and had to flee the country to save her own life. The subtitle here that matters is this word on a report on the banality of evil, the boring, ordinary nature of evil. And that feels a little bit like a ridiculous thing to say because the Nazis are so often held up as an example, the example of the worst, the least ordinary evil in the world. Part of the case that this book makes is that the most extreme and evil things that happen in history are done by boring, incompetent bureaucrats who do not know how to think for themselves and cannot think from the perspective of other people. My knee-jerk reaction to this quote of your inability to speak being related to your inability to think from the perspective of others reminds me of this interview in which Trump said, "Oh, I don't think about American finances." And it was like, wait, that's why people elected you? Oh, I just don't even think about the world from other people's perspective, right? After which it was called out for and doubled down. But an argument like that is, I think, is a little bit flippant, and the sort of got ya analysis that has doesn't carry a lot of emotional or moral weight in the current attention economy. So I'd rather focus on this Yahoo, and I think conservatives are smarter than liberals give them credit for, and I do believe in your ability to perceive this man as a deeply unserious roadkill eating clown. And I'm going to double down on this because he's been releasing a lot of wacky videos where he does a bunch of push-ups and tries to signal traditional masculinity at people. And again, I think that conservatives are smarter than liberals are giving them credit for here. I think that it's possible for you to recognize that projecting masculinity is different from legitimate medical expertise. If I had more than 3 minutes, I'd give more details on examples of how Eichmann is upset that his career ain't going good. He's not getting promoted to the level of Nazi that he wishes he could get promoted to. If you can, you should read this book. But for now, the clown carification of the Trump administration has become ordinary and boring to us. In Arendt's words, it has become banal. But when your policy is against medical advice and will result in the unnecessary deaths of children, and when your policy has no upside other than your own political advancement, no amount of performed buffoonery can shield you from the reality that what you are doing is evil.